tonight. Take it to trial. Yeah, we live tonight. Take it to trial.
You swear or affirm that any testimony you give in this trial will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you? See here, huh? Now that you're seated, please state your name in full, then spell your last name for the court's record.
Full name is Kathleen Linton, Linton. I go by Katie.
Go ahead, counsel.
What is your occupation?
I am a firefighter with Kamas-Washougal Fire Department.
And what is your current role with the Kamas-Washougal Fire Department?
I'm a firefighter, EMT, and a captain.
And what do you do as a captain with the Kamas-Washougal Fire Department?
Well, it's a regular duty position, so I'm on the engine every day, shift work, and oversee my crew, calls, station duties, those kinds of things.
Okay. And how long have you been with the Kamas-Washougal Fire Department?
Just over 13 years.
And can you please describe your educational background?
Well, I am an EMT basic for that, but prior to starting with Camas Fire, I'm a veterinarian as well.
And any prior related work history with regard to your work at the Kamas-Washougal Fire Department?
Not really. I was a volunteer for a little over a year and a half.
What sort of work did you do before you were at the Kamas-Washougal Fire Department?
I was a veterinarian full time, and then various jobs prior to that.
Okay. Are you familiar with a man by the name of Kevin West?
I am.
And how is it that you're familiar with him?
Work.
And do you see him in the courtroom?
I do.
Can you identify it by an article of clothing he's wearing?
Black jacket.
Let the record reflect the witness identify the defendant.
It does.
When did you first meet Kevin West?
When I started with the Kamas-Washougal Fire,
And that was,
late 2012.
and how often would you interact with him in your time at the Kamas-Washougal Fire Department?
I was on his crew the first year. So,
And how about after that?
the occasional shifts. I mean, we all know each other. We work together. He was our union vice president for a while, so.
Was there a period of time that you were interacting with him more?
Earlier in my career, I was on his shift, on his crew.
How often were the two of you interacting, say, in like 2019?
Not a lot.
When you did interact with him, how was he speaking about his wife, Marcy?
In that time period, I don't know that we talked about it a lot. I know there was trouble in the relationship, and I think about that time period there was talk of him moving out and renting an apartment from a
No
coworker.
objection, this is based on our sustain the objections and disregard the last comment. Listen to the question asked and answer that question.
Around this time period, what was Kevin specifically telling you about his relationship with Marcy?
Not sure how to answer it with that. I did ask him at one point, because I'd heard he was getting a divorce and moving out. And then he'd made a comment. I was working I believe an overtime shift about plans they had in the future, and I did ask, are you not getting divorced?
Okay, and what was his response?
He had told me that he had talked to a lawyer and that he would only have $1,600 or $1,800 a month to live on if he got a divorce, which seemed odd to me. And I did ask, like,
Objection, irrelevance, move to strike.
I understood it. She was about to relate part of the conversation, so I'll overrule the objection.
She
That's
said,
the response.
she said it seemed odd to her.
She said it seemed odd to her, and so she said she was going to ask him something. So if it's related to your conversation with Mr. West, you can answer. If it's your own speculations or discussions with someone else, you can't answer.
it was a conversation I had with him, and I asked, how could you only have $1,600 or $1,800 a month? We make a pretty good living. I just didn't see that, and he just said he had talked to a lawyer, and that was what they told him, and that he was stuck financially.
Okay. And when was that conversation approximately?
I know it was before COVID, I think around 2018.
Your Honor, I'm gonna object based upon relevance, move to strike that answer, 2018.
I overrule the objection.
Person by the name of Marcy West.
Yes, I did.
And how long had you worked with Marcy?
20 years.
And what was Marcy's role at Tucson?
She was a unit coordinator also.
And how often would you work with Marcy?
Marcy started 20 years ago, and then she was full-time, and then she went part-time when she got married. And when she came back after having her first child, Ted, she was even more part-time. So she was what we call per diem at that time, which is you just kind of pick up the open shifts. And we had multiple open shifts.
Would you frequently work the same shift as Marcy?
I would work the 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. shift, and Marcy would pick up the 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. shift.
Okay, so overlapping shifts.
Correct.
Okay. And where were you stationed? Did you work in close proximity to Marcy?
Yes, we sat right next to each other
Okay. For how long?
for the whole 8 hours that she was there.
Okay. And for how many years were you in that position with Marcy?
20 years. Well, I was there 45 years.
Okay. So
Yes.
with Marcy at
It
that,
was 20 years, yeah.
sitting next to Marcy for 20 years.
Correct.
Okay. All right, Connie, I'm showing you what has been marked for identification purposes as plaintiffs 1. What are those?
That's Marcy.
Marcy appeared.
Yes, and that's Marcy.
I'm sorry, don't show the exhibit to the jury until it's admitted.
And do they accurately portray how Marcy appeared in life?
Yes.
Move to admit P1,
No objection. One is admitted.
move to publish.
Okay.
All right. So page 2 of P1. And who is that with Marcy there?
I believe that's Megan.
And page 1 is just a better view of Marcy. And that's also Marcy.
Yes.
All right. And can you describe your working relationship with Marcy?
We sat together for 8 hours a day. We discussed lots of things. Before her death, we were planning a wedding, so we were picking dresses and flowers and venues. She was just a great person, great coworker.
And at the location where you and Marcy sat at the hospital, did you indicate that was in the emergency room?
Yes,
Um, and would you and Marcy regularly interact with first responders that would come into the emergency room?
where we sat in the middle of the emergency room was right by the paramedic door, where the paramedics would bring patients through.
Are you familiar with Kevin West?
Yes,
And how is it that you're familiar with him?
he was a paramedic and he was married to Marcy.
Do you see him in the courtroom?
I do.
Can you identify him by an article of clothing he's wearing?
I'm sorry?
Can you identify him by an article of clothing he's wearing?
He's wearing a blue suit, a blue shirt, and a blue tie.
Let the record reflect you as identified defendant.
It does.
When Kevin would come to the emergency room, how would he and Marcy interact?
He would never stop and talk with Marcy. We work in a area by where the paramedics come in, but we also work with a lot of nurses, EMT techs, that type of thing. Lots of them are married to police officers.
Kevin's non-responsive.
This Dave,
Well, was that unusual from the other first responders that would come in?
Yes,
Would they regularly interact with you
yes,
and Marcy?
yes.
On average, how would you characterize their interactions that you did observe?
I'm an objection, I guess,
suspend the agenda.
In the 20 years that you've known and worked with Marcy, did she ever complain to you about having a headache or a migraine?
No,
Did you ever observe her appearing like she was suffering from a headache or a migraine?
no,
Did you ever hear her complaining of ear pain?
no.
I have no further questions.
Cross-examining.
yes, thank you, Your Honor. Is on, before May of 2023, you only worked with her maybe once or twice a week, isn't that right?
Correct.
And only for a few hours at a time.
8 hours, sir.
But you didn't have nearly as much contact with her as you did after May of 2023, correct?
Correct.
Now, Marcy was a pretty private person, wasn't she?
Yes,
She didn't share a lot of details about her life.
she shared some.
Question was, she didn't share a lot of details about her life, is that right?
Correct.
And you didn't work there 24 hours a day, correct?
Correct.
So you didn't see every time Kevin came in the door,
No,
and you didn't see them to, when they were both in the same place at the same time, every time they were, right?
correct.
So when he would come in and you say he didn't stop to see her, were you near Marcy?
Yes,
Were you with Marcy?
yes,
And so he wouldn't come see her when she was with you, is that right?
yes.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
Need direct,
No, no.
and the witness be excused.
Yes.
Yes.
You're free to go, don't discuss your testimony, but
Were you there around Christmas of 2023?
About 4 nights.
And what did you observe as far as the relationship between Kevin and Marcy during that time?
They never had a lot of displays of affection with company, right? So, but I noticed that there was just a lot of tension in the household where they were talking about, or what they explained to us was they were looking at.
Hearsay.
Oh,
overruled.
go ahead. I'm sorry. There was a lot of phone calls with Kevin and his dad. That's what we were told that he was talking to. And talk of him possibly moving in with them. So I thought maybe that was part of
The detention, they were planning,
Yeah, all right, I'm gonna
Oh,
object. Hold on just a minute.
I'm sorry.
It sounds like hearsay. These statements aren't being attributed to any particular individual. To that extent, they could be hearsay. So I'm going to object.
I understand the testimony and the purpose for which it's related, the objection is overruled. It's not being offered for hearsay purposes. Now, repeat your question, or ask anyone.
What did you observe as far as the relationship between Kevin and Marcy, in addition to what you've already disclosed?
Objection asked and answered.
Overrule the objection, since the last objection is the response. I'll allow the response to continue if they're saying. Now, repeat your question, listen to it, and answer it.
Right. What did you observe as far as the relationship between Kevin and Marcy in the 4 days that you were in the home?
There was very little interaction between Kevin and Marcy.
Okay. Did you notice with specific to Kevin, how often he was on his phone?
Kevin left the room frequently throughout our visit, taking phone calls, and I don't know to who exactly he was talking to. He joined us for one family activity.
Objection, non-responsive. The question was,
No, I overruled the objection.
Okay, he joined us once for an activity with the family at the zoo to see the lights,
Okay. So the zoo lights.
the zoo lights.
Okay. What did you observe during the zoo lights activity?
During the zoo lights, he and I were in the passenger seats behind the driver in the front seat. And he was on his phone texting a lot and would look at me and turn his phone away for me to see what was there.
Okay. So Kevin was sitting behind Marcy and Marcy was driving.
Marcy was driving.
Okay.
And Kevin was directly behind the driver. And I was to the right.
Did you see Kevin and Marcy being affectionate with each other at any point during that trip?
During that trip, there was a time that Marcy was upset by an interaction with,
objection, non-responsive.
Sustain, listen to the question asked, answer that.
Did you observe Kevin and Marcy being affectionate with each other at any point?
once.
And what was that?
He was comforting her when her feelings were hurt by Megan.
Beyond that, did you see any affection or interaction? Okay. I have no further questions.
Cross-examination,
No questions, Your Honor.
can the witness be excused?
Yes.
Now that you're seated, please state your name in full and spell your last name for the court's record.
My name is Casey Jones, Jones.
Go ahead, Tom.
Thank you. What is your occupation?
I am a senior administrative support assistant with the Kamas-Washougal Fire Department.
And how long have you been with the Kamas-Washougal Fire Department?
8 years and 1 month.
And was it always in that same role?
Yes.
Okay. What are your duties and responsibilities as the senior administrative support assistant?
I administratively manage the fire department, including finances, and the data analyst, records custodian, and assorted support roles.
Okay. And do you work closely with the firefighters?
I do. When I'm in office, they are typically in-house as well.
Okay. And what station are you actually physically located?
Station 42.
And which of the stations was that?
That is the, I think, easternmost Kamas station.
And when you're interacting with the firefighters, are you somebody that the employees of the fire department regularly confide in?
I am.
So kind of like the office therapist.
Yes,
Okay. Now, do you know Kevin West?
I do.
And was there a portion of time that he was assigned to Station 42?
Yes.
And how did that come to be?
When Kevin was promoted to battalion chief, he was temporarily assigned to the role of administrative battalion chief.
And what does the administrative battalion chief do?
The administrative battalion chief worked 4 10-hour days and handled some higher level. We didn't have a training officer at the time, so this person would handle training and some ancillary things like we put together an in-house academy, and so working on the organization, things like that.
Okay. And when was he promoted to the administrative battalion chief?
Shortly after his promotion to battalion chief, so that would have been, I think, early 2020.
Okay. And so how often would you and Kevin West have been at Station 42 at the same time?
4 days a week at a minimum.
And would he sometimes pick up overtime shifts?
Yes, the administrative battalion chief was also permitted to work line overtime, so sometimes overnights, sometimes additional days.
So would it be fair to say that you had frequent contact with Kevin West while he was in that assignment?
Yes.
And when did that assignment end for Mr. West?
It's a 9-month assignment, so sometime in late 2020.
Was that the time that you got to know him best?
Yes.
And how was your relationship with him in the beginning of his time?
Pretty normal, much like most of the relationships in the department. He's a coworker. He was very well liked.
And were the two of you friendly?
Yes.
Would he talk to you about his personal life?
Yes,
And as time went on, did you try to distance yourself personally from Mr. West?
I did. Yes.
When Kevin was at Station 42 with you during the time that you were more friendly with one another, did he ever talk with you about your relationship with Marcy, or with his relationship with Marcy?
Yes.
And what would he say?
Kevin described a very unhappy marriage with a lack of intimacy, frequent conflicts over finances, disputes over parenting their children. He very much wanted to end the marriage.
Was that a frequent topic of conversation?
Yes.
And did the two of you ever discuss what the details of a divorce would look like for him?
Yes.
Can you describe that conversation?
There was a specific instance where Kevin had come to work and he was highly agitated. Kevin and Marcy were having a disagreement over how much to pay for a car for their daughter. Kevin had stated that he was just ready to be done. He wanted to seek a divorce at that time. He was afraid of the finances. He was concerned about his retirement being accessed by Marcy. And so I suggested that we should.
Objections, non-responsive, it's hearsay.
I suggested that we should complete a worksheet that could estimate what alimony might look like so he could financially plan around that.
Was he concerned that he was going to have to pay Marcy alimony?
Absolutely.
And so how did the conversation go as you completed that worksheet?
The worksheet was very straightforward. It asked for both spouses' annual income, the state of residence, and the length of the marriage. The worksheet results returned.
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
So it's a worksheet completed and handed to her by Mr. West?
Yes,
Done online.
the two of them did it together.
I overrule the objection.
The worksheet estimated a monthly.
Objection, Your Honor, it's hearsay.
I overruled that objection, counsel.
The worksheet estimated a monthly alimony payment of $4,500, and it estimated that alimony payment would be in effect permanently because the marriage had lasted more than 20 years. And in the state of Washington, apparently, that's a possibility.
So when he discovered that he was potentially going to be paying a substantial amount of alimony indefinitely, what did he do?
Kevin appeared to be in shock, for lack of a better term. He stared at it for a while. He became very upset. I suggested that he should speak to an attorney because this is just an online worksheet and it wasn't proof of anything, and that he should speak to a professional who could probably give him better advice. He left my office, and about 30 minutes later, he returned to my office in street clothes and said that he was overwhelmed and going home for the day.
Was that prior to the end of his shift?
Yes.
And this would have been around 2020?
Yes.
During the time that you've known Kevin West, has he ever had anything positive to say about his marriage?
No.
Has he ever had anything positive to say about his wife, Marcy?
No.
What were his complaints about Marcy?
He complained that Marcy was not social. He complained that Marcy did not like intimacy with him. He complained that their parenting styles were very different. So he complained that he felt that she spent too much money and did not work enough to help support the family.
And you talked about her not being social. Was there ever a time where you overheard a conversation between Kevin and Marcy?
Yes.
And was that within regards to a social event?
Yes.
Can you describe that conversation?
In BC 42, which is the vehicle that the administrative battalion chief is assigned to drive, I can't remember exactly where we were coming from, but on Lake Road, headed towards Station 42, Kevin was having a phone conversation with Marcy. Kevin's cell phone is typically on a very high volume because he is particularly hard of hearing, and I could hear both parts of their conversation. Kevin was telling Marcy that he was going to go to a get-together, a small work get-together at Doomsday Pizza, and that spouses were not invited and not going to go, and she didn't have to worry about going.
Was that accurate?
No.
What was the state of that social event?
There was a small gathering. Several people brought their spouses, and at that gathering, Kevin was asked where Marcy was, and he said, she doesn't come to things.
Now, in the year or so leading up to Marcy's death, did you continue to hear him talk about the problems they were having in their relationship?
Yes.
Did you continue to hear him talk about divorce?
Yes.
Did you continue to hear him talk about financial strain they were having?
Yes.
And after Marcy's death, was a GoFundMe set up at the fire department to help him with those expenses?
The fire department did not set up the GoFundMe. The local
Objection,
IFF
Your Honor, Foundation.
On the day of Marcy's death, did you have contact with Kevin West?
Yes.
And how did that come about?
The department established a meal train, and the crew that was on shift that day made dinner we made dinner as a team, and I delivered it after my shift to his home.
Approximately what time did you head over to West residence?
I typically leave work at 4, so it would have been after 4.
And where did you first see Kevin?
In the garage.
Was the garage door open or closed?
I believe it was open when I got there,
And he was in the garage. Was he with anyone else?
not when I arrived.
Did you ever go into any other part of the house?
No.
And had you alerted him that you were coming?
Yes.
And what did you bring?
A lasagna and some garlic bread and a salad, I believe.
Can you please describe your interaction in the garage on the evening of the 8th?
Objection, vague question calls for narrative response.
Kevin appeared very enthusiastic to me. He seemed very happy. He was unquestionably happier than I had almost ever seen him. He took me on a tour of his garage bar. He demonstrated to me a bottle opener made out of a deer's hind end. There were moments that Kevin covered his face and pretended to cry, but he would very quickly shift back to just a very enthusiastic disposition.
And when you say he was pretending to cry, why do you feel he was pretending?
I have seen Kevin cry, and that was not what this was. And of course, there were never tears. There was also an amount of theatrics in covering his face as he pretended to, and then just kind of sitting up and dropping his hands and snapping out of that.
Did the two of you discuss anything else in the room? Did he talk at all about Marcy?
He said that it wasn't how he thought something like that would be. He said there was no pop. She had a headache and went to bed, and he just woke up to what happened.
And I have no further questions. Thank you.
Cross examine.
So, Ms. Jones, you're the kind of the clearinghouse for information about different employees around the fire station, right?
Yes.
Office gossip, if you will.
Yes.
In fact, you shared with all the other coworkers by email a thing called the PC affidavit. Didn't you?
Not all of the other coworkers.
Not a lot of them.
No, not a lot of them. No.
You emailed to various employees the PC affidavit.
Fewer than 5. Less than 10% of my staff.
And you thought that Kevin worked very little and was very handsomely paid for that, didn't you?
It did.
That yes?
Yes.
He made your job hard because he had a hard time doing the payroll, working the payroll software, isn't that right?
Yeah.
You saying he didn't have any trouble with it?
He had trouble with the scheduling software.
Okay. Oh, scheduling software. Okay. Well, forgive me. And that made your job harder, didn't it?
It didn't make my job harder, no. It delayed the implementation of the software, which was very expensive for the organization.
Okay. So it caused inconvenience for the organization and for you.
For the organization, not for me personally.
When you went to the house on the 8th, that was in the evening, correct?
Late afternoon, I would say.
How much time did you spend with him?
Less than 30 minutes, probably less than 20 minutes.
So you hadn't seen him earlier that day?
No.
You didn't see him later than that day? Okay. Who else was in the house?
He said family was in the house. His mother briefly came out and introduced herself.
Yeah, so you're saying that when he saw you, he was happy to see you, he was smiling.
Yes.
You said that he said what happened was unexpected because there was no pop. He's referring to no pop. She didn't report a pop in her head, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and he would have expected that based upon what he knew at that moment.
I can't speak to what he knew at that moment.
Oh, you can't speculate as to what he thought or how he felt.
What he knew at that moment?
So I have,
Redirect.
Mayor.
Witness speaks to you.
Yes, subject to recall.
All right, you're free to go at this time, but you're subject to recall, so you cannot remain in the courtroom. You'll need to keep parties advised of how to reach you and do not discuss your testimony with any other individual. Your next witness.
How's it going, sir? Hey, come on in. Oh, thank you. Hi. You're okay. You're okay. Smell my pops. Okay. How's it going?
I'm okay.
Good.
Okay. Come on in.
Had some follow-up and a couple other things we wanted to touch up on.
Yeah, sure.
Now's an okay time?
Yeah, let's come on in here.
Sure. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I had the area shot for you guys.
Oh, no worries. Thank you. Hey, puppy. You're okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, thank you. I don't remember you from last time.
I had one of the, that's the nice guy. The other one's not so nice.
It seemed to always, it's that dynamic. Like there's an evil one and a good one.
And the evil one, like, totally adopted Marcy and my son. And the rest, you can't even get up the stairs without bleeding.
Still getting used to these. Still audio and video recording, so. Sorry. Only used it a handful of times so far. Perfect. So let's see.
I appreciate you guys being good to my kids on the phone. They both had,
of course,
you know, I sent Ted up to his room and he came out and I was just worried about him, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. And are you good with it recording? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. So almost in February. It's crazy. Oh, yeah.
She, Marcy and I bought her in Goldendale in 2015, brought him back. My mom and I went and picked her up in Goldendale and brought her back. In October. Third English trainer. Okay. I think that grew up with one, and then we just lost Brooke a little while. 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Okay. Sorry.
That's
It's hard to.
Yeah. Oh, she was my girl. Yeah.
Well, one of the reasons we came back out here, we wanted to follow up. It's typical in these investigations. Sometimes it takes a couple times. One thing we should have asked or talked about last time. Do you still have Marcy's cell phone?
I do.
Would we be able to take a peek at that?
Yes, and I put it in my daughter's room.
Okay.
Got her real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Here's the brief outline of one of the. Okay.
I did try to get into it today because I was paying bills and all the codes
Oh, gotcha.
to her phone, so I had to contact all my everyone I owe money to every month to get my number and my email attached to it, so
Okay.
she can pay the bills. But I can call my daughter. I know the numbers. I don't know the order,
Gotcha.
and it locked me out. But
Okay.
would you like me to call Megan?
If you think she would maybe know the passcode, that would be outstanding.
Doing laundry and stuff today. Everybody does. Hey, sis. Do you remember? I remember the numbers to Mom's cell phone. It was 141320. Okay. Say that one more time. 141320. Okay, I got it. Okay, thank you, sister. Okay, I love you. Bye. There's all my Xfinity codes coming through.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Sometimes, like, especially now in the age of the cell phone, going through like digital stuff,
Yeah,
just on the off chance, like a text was sent or a message was sent, maybe.
yeah.
In this case, maybe not, but it's one of our investigative steps, if that makes sense. Perfect. Good battery. Were you able to get all your bills and utilities?
I
switched?
did. I got it all sorted out, but then excuse me, I went and she would always call me for the code, so I couldn't understand why they were going to her phone, like our Rocket Mortgage and our the other one. But anyway, that was
Okay.
yeah.
And then one other thing, or a couple other things, as far as the life scan stuff, first off, thank you for sending that. I know we talked kind of at length about like the heart issues. Just wanted to circle back on that, like the chest pain and stuff that she was feeling.
Yeah. So I thought about it a lot, and she would complain of headaches. She complained of I didn't mean to go away from the chest pain. But
No, that's perfect. And then was there anything in particular, this may be a broad question, but anything, I guess, specific that prompted getting the life scan in December?
No, in fact, to do it in December, we had to schedule, like right now, we're scheduling for next year.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we never, just knowing she doesn't go in for physicals and all these, I was like, and that this year was the first year it was opened up to spouses.
Oh, okay.
So it was line personnel, spouses, and then retirees, then volunteers. And it was based on how much space was available, how many homes were available. So I was like, I worked hand in hand with Dan Hammond, who runs the coordination of all that live scan. And I was one of the first ones to sign up and just make sure that Marcy was on that, because my experience the first year was like, man, you knew everything. Like your carotids are clear, I don't have a fatty liver. Apparently Marcy had a fatty liver, I guess, and I was like, it's just good information. Like cancer prevention in the fire department is huge and for everyone.
Yeah.
But like, man, if I can have this available for her, take advantage of it. It's just through my Viva, $650, and so well worth it. It doesn't come out of my pocket. We can just get it done, and so she did.
Okay. And do you remember when you signed up for that? Because was it like a year ago, or was it like November?
Probably, it was either December of 2022 or January of 23, probably.
Gotcha. So like long time before.
Well before the appointment, yeah.
Okay. And is that like one of our boss was going to swing by as well?
Okay.
Do we want to get into this?
Just so moving the way we are. Yeah, it's not what we have to.
Okay. Hello. So we were just talking about some of the life scan stuff. And then was that like with benefits at all? Like, did that affect like lower your guys' premiums or insurance, anything like that?
No, it's something that's offered through Northwest Firefighter Trust. And so
Okay.
departments can take advantage of it or not.
Just peace of mind, and it's up to the individual.
Yep, and Dane is, his mom passed of cancer, and so he's taking that on as his mission at the fire department, to help everybody.
Okay. That's awesome. That's what you guys need, so.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we talked a little bit about you and Marcy's relationship last time, and you mentioned like any relationship, there were some bumps along the way. Are you able to talk to us about those bumps or like when those were?
So in 2015, we were spending a lot of money on my daughter's savings.
Okay.
We didn't have a savings account. She basically, I guess at the time, we couldn't come to resolution on finding a balance. It's always in June when we have to do the, decide how many dances your daughter's going to be in. That includes choreography fees for however all those dances, costumes are included, all those things, right? And it would always worry me that I don't have money for incidentals, the whatever, how the water heater goes up, and I just wanted balance, and finances were one of the things we had a tough time with.
Okay.
So it wasn't, communication was difficult.
Okay.
Right. Our communication model was very much round robin. Sometimes like we couldn't talk about just one thing. Like one topic, it would be maybe she would bring something back.
Okay.
Right. And so would try to get back to just that main topic and find some resolution. I sat her down and the kids and explained that I needed a break. And so I decided that I was going to take my trailer to the conference house, and I stayed there for about, I don't even know the exact amount of time, maybe 20 days or something like that, 2 weeks. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. I didn't want the kids to feel like I was not part of their lives, taking them, as coaching Ted's basketball. I was involved in their lives, whatever it was, and driving Megan to dance, or I was involved in Ted's school, or whatever it was, and so I was always around. And she made a really big effort. And so we decided to have a couples weekend. We went to the coast. We had a really good weekend. We talked and agreed to have a savings account and to do some of those things.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have discussion.
Nobody's, oh, okay.
I mean,
Okay. We can do it further.
okay.
Sorry. This is going quicker.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. So we agreed to have a savings account, and moving towards, it didn't change how much we were spending, right? I would go through the year and I would tell her, like, it's always hardest in June knowing what I'm going to spend, but then seeing my daughter dance, it's like all worth it, right? We go to the recitals. She tap ballet, or hip hop. She did tap. It was like not the common one. Anyway, I always felt bad about talking about money. But what we would do is I had a separate account at Selco in Eugene, and we put money there, and that was incidentals.
Okay.
It was my fuel. I paid mostly all my fuel, so it wouldn't come off hard. Just trying to have somewhat of a reserve.
Mm-hmm.
And then, dance ended this last June. She's a senior, so she was done and off to UW. And we communicated well about, we set up, I think it was maybe October, set up a savings account for college and for her weddings. We're paying for my daughter's wedding, which is one of the most difficult things we're going through right now, because Marcy's not going to be at that wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And she was coordinating all of that. Sorry.
Take your time.
Did you send me there to see her? Marcy started working a lot more to help me. I told her that probably in November. We started talking about the fact that I thought our union was going to vote to go to a 4-2 schedule, where I had the other days and my overtime would go away.
Okay.
And I said that with my overtime, I would always get about 36 hours a month just covering our Kelly days.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something that was a constant that I knew I wouldn't have anymore. And that was a significant amount of money in a year. And so she started working a lot, and basically everything she made, she was paying for Megan's wedding that was due this month in January, excuse me. And we were able to make that payment. It was nearly $8,000. I still have, a little ways to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think in December, we decided to do a Parent Plus loan to pay for college. Took out $18,000 to be able to pay for Megan's college. And so that freed up a little bit of money to be able to make that payment. in January. But she's making big efforts to be a partner and working more.
Okay.
Mostly she was relieved at the hospital, and we balanced it well
Okay.
whole life, so we would never have to have childcare, right? We would just, if I was working overtime, she just wouldn't schedule herself to work. If I wasn't working overtime, she would pick up shift.
Mhm.
So we were really good parents. And we were at that point of having time for ourselves.
Mhm. Kids out of the house a little bit.
Maybe through every weekend, you know, she's Amtrakking her way down here. Ted's here 1 out of every 3 nights. And we're starting to have just nights where it's just us. We could watch a movie, you know. She wanted to take me to the coast on my birthday. And we're gonna plan that. So my birthday was the 18th, and her 50, and she wanted to do something.
As far as so outside of 2015, any other like stretches in the relationship where any strain or?
No, I mean, I think maybe early on when we were looking to buy a house, she had Ted, you know, she had some, you know, her, this going way back, you know, her sexual desires after having her first kid, having Ted went away. That was temporary. I would run a lot. Like I'd run from 164th to downtown Camas, back and forth to work. I was a runner. But we made it through, you know. It's like, I think the first few years of our marriage were tough. But I don't think we were much different than any other couple.
Mm-hmm. And these are some uncomfortable questions. You said no one else is here right now. Okay. As far as the medical examiner's office, some of these follow-up ones that we're more or less required to ask, or we need the answers to. Are you able to remember when the last time you and Marcy were intimate?
That night.
That night? Okay. So the 7th, leading into the 8th?
First night of that.
Okay. And then again, I apologize for the A, making you relive it, and B, the brightness of the questions.
I understand you guys are just like me, and you're doing your job. You know, so.
It's okay. And that night, was it sexual intercourse? Okay.
We got a good, such a big date.
And like I said, if you need a second, feel free. You mentioned that was before bed. Where was that at in the bed? And then was that before or after she got sick or wasn't feeling well? Before. And kind of an odd question, but we have to ask, any like rough sex or anything like that? Okay.
No.
At any point in the relationship, rough sex or anything like that? Okay.
No.
Okay. And then I think we were, last time we spoke a little bit about like what she would typically wear to bed. And I think we even covered what she was wearing that night, and it sounded like that was pretty typical for her to wear, right?
She would wear a bra always. She had breast implants. So that goes back to like 2005 or 6. Like 2 t-shirts. She was always really cool. He was always hot. She always wore a sweatshirt. Not always. She would sometimes wear a sweatshirt.
Okay.
Sometimes mine, and I couldn't find them. Her leggings, or she really didn't own like sweatpants. It was mostly leggings.
Okay.
Sometimes even socks.
And then again, kind of an odd question, but when we reviewed the photographs, it looked like some of her clothes were like her pants were inside out. Can you think of any reason, like had you ever seen her wear them inside out before, or do you know how that might have happened?
So she was body conscious. She may have put them on in the dark.
Okay.
I have no idea what that would be.
Okay.
I have no idea.
And if it's leggings, I'd imagine it's probably the same material inside and out.
I'm sure. Yeah.
And then you mentioned the bra. Would she wear a bra when she slept even?
Oh, yes.
She would?
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
Always. And if I remember right, it was something to do with the implants, and it was recommended.
Okay.
And then it was a different kind of, it was like a gel. It was supposed to be more natural, I guess, or whatever. So they said to wear one. She has ever since.
Okay. And then again, kind of an odd question, but it's in our list. Did she ever ask you for like assistance getting dressed or anything like that? Figured that was the answer, but just gotta make sure.
She would, the only thing it had nothing to do with getting dressed. She would have calf cramps, and I'd always jump out of bed and like put her toes to her knee just to get, I don't know, whatever. I don't know why I thought of that.
Help stretch.
Yeah, right.
And then sorry to keep bouncing back and forth. Just want to make sure I'm hitting all my notes. As far as the relationship goes, did you guys ever have any time periods? It sounds like there was one. Was it like 20-day stretch where you guys were separated? Were there ever any, like since you guys have been dating, ever any other instances of either separation or anything like that? Okay. Ever any talk of like impending divorce or like seeking a separation?
We talked about that.
Okay.
That was back in 15.
15?
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess when did that resolve? Like, was it acute or was it more spread out?
She made a big effort and went to the beach. And we did that.
Okay.
Yeah.
In 2015?
Yeah. Probably would have been, maybe it was January of 16. And I remember, I don't know why 2015 is in my head, but it was towards the end of 2015.
Okay. And Lawrence, do you have anything at this point? I got some more, but just wanted to see if you had any follow-up from Wilbur. Okay, perfect. One other note that we wanted to ask was, as far as when the seizure was happening, moving her off the bed, in reviewing the Washougal body cams, it looks like the light wasn't working. Was it dark in the room at the time?
So this is the weirdest thing, because my heat went out, so there was a wire in my thermostat.
Okay.
So that day, it didn't work. We kept touching the screen. It would kick on the fan just by touching it.
Okay.
And then it wouldn't do anything. That night, I don't know when, but it wouldn't turn on. And you'd have to flip the switch and have to use the remote. I ended up taking that ceiling fan down, testing the wires, and I had good power there.
Okay.
I think the fan burned up. So the
Gotcha.
fan's off the ceiling. I took it to the dog. But there's no recessed lighting in that room. So when we bought this house, that was our only main lighting of the bed. I replaced the bulbs. It wasn't the bulbs, and so then I tested the wires, and it was good. But that happened like in that same time period.
Gotcha. So they were simultaneous with the HVAC
And so
issue.
guys were saying, "Did you guys have a power surge?" Or whatever, because I wired my thermostat myself, but it was just we restripped the wires and put them right back in, and there might have been a little kink, and wondering if a power surge, which I don't know, it wouldn't affect that light. That wouldn't do that. I don't think.
Okay.
Anyway, but
Gotcha. And then I think when you were talking about, moving her from the bed to the floor, do you remember where the end table was, or was the end table there on her side?
yes, it was on her side.
It was on her side?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We moved a bunch of furniture because we had her family come out in December and we did carpet cleaning. We're classic procrastinators. The dresser was still in the walk-in closet,
Oh, okay.
So even when I went through her clothes and had the kids pick out what they wanted to keep, I got to move the dresser.
Okay. Where was the dresser at before?
So the dresser was at the foot of the bed.
Okay.
Against that wall, you can see there's like I did some wall repair
Oh,
because
okay.
there was the previous owners had like a TV or whatever. We just had never painted.
Okay. Gotcha.
The dresser sat against that wall.
Okay. Perfect. And then we don't have to go up yet, but is the bedroom still more or less in the same like configuration, or?
No, because what I did is the mattress had cat urine stain on it.
Oh, okay.
But I was having a hard time. I want new furniture. So the guys helped me last Monday.
Okay.
Came by. We took photographs. I took photographs of the furniture without the mattress, and then we took apart the frame. I took it up to they all helped me take it up to my buddy Scott's house at his shop.
Mhm.
And my other buddy Jeff is selling on Facebook Marketplace.
Okay.
Whatever. And the Peloton and the entertainment center that was in the other room. Just my daughter's probably gonna move back here with her fiance. I think she gets out of college, is that big room's gonna be there, so I'm trying to prep that.
Gotcha.
But I needed different furniture. When we bought this house, that furniture came with the house.
Oh, okay.
Along with those bar stools and a dining table, and all these other things, and we paid at closing like $1,600 for all the furniture and stuff. So
Gotcha.
we didn't pick it out together, but at the same time, I just need to change.
Sure.
So that's where it's at right now.
Okay.
I found the cat vomited like 8 times underneath the bed, so I have to get a carpet cleaner up there. I've been vacuuming and stuff.
Okay. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. And then moving forward, and again, this is another couple questions that I apologize for, being blunt, but do you happen to know Cynthia? And how do you know her? I guess what's your relationship?
So I had an affair.
Okay.
With Cynthia. And I'm struggling with my choice of doing that. And I knew of her in the early 2000s.
Okay.
And yeah.
I guess going back, did you meet her like early 2000s, or when did you first?
I met her because she was a Washington volunteer,
Oh, okay.
so that's what I knew.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And as far as like timeline of the affair, when was that happening?
Right now.
Right now? Okay. How long has that been going on?
Like, I talked to her once on Messenger in July.
Okay.
And I didn't see her until late August.
Mhm.
And it's been intermittent meetings.
Okay. And again, we're not here to judge.
It's hard for me because I'm being honest with you on having that affair.
Mhm.
I feel what I feel for that. So we have that.
Okay. And prior to messaging in July or August timeframe, had this happened before?
Yeah.
Okay. And are you able to tell us about like when that was or how long ago that was?
It was right after my son was born.
Okay. And
So 2004.
Okay. So about 2 decades ago.
I can't tell you how long. I don't think that was very long.
And more recently, you said some messaging in July and then August.
Another, yeah.
Okay. And where would you guys meet, or how?
I would go to a hotel.
The hotel. Okay. And then I guess how long or how frequently has this been happening since then?
Once a month.
Okay. And do you happen is her last name Ward?
It is.
Okay. And then when you guys were talking or messaging, was that on your phone or like a different means or media? Your phone. Okay. Are you guys on like Facebook or anything? All the
I'm not
kids
on
are
Facebook.
okay.
No. You're asking what we communicate on to WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Okay. Actually, I'm slightly familiar with it. It seems like all the kids and everybody's using something different these days. And I guess more recently, was that you said it was current or ongoing?
It is, yeah.
Okay. And when's the last time you saw Cynthia?
I went down to Shampoo State Park, and we walked her.
Okay. And when was that?
Sorry, that was not yesterday, the day before.
Oh, okay. And it's, I guess as far as like plans, and I know the last month has been a ton to deal with and process. Have you guys talked about the future or what the plan is now?
You know, there is no plan. Like
That's okay.
It was absolutely just simply we're having an affair. She came here. She was here the night you guys were here on last Tuesday. We were in the garage and having a drink when you guys came.
Okay.
And I told her that you guys were here, went out there, and I told her that I expected, to tell you guys everything about it, and we I don't know what to say. We're having sex. I mean, and I shouldn't have, but I did.
And your guys' connection, was it, people, it happens for different reasons, right? It's not uncommon. Would you say it was more of like a physical connection, an emotional connection, something different?
I think it's physical connection. And I think it is, you can have an emotional connection. I feel like there probably is an emotional connection. I think she's been a big comfort for me since this has happened. It's a big part of having down there. She's helping me. I think it's fair to say, as a friend, I think she's pretty incredible to be able to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
I was missing that. Everyone left Sunday, right? I mean, I had 2 weeks and everyone was here and the house was crazy. And Sunday, everyone left. Finally, the fire department stopped bringing food. Monday was my first day to be here.
Okay.
Chris Castle comes by Monday night. He was on that call, and I think he talked a lot about the call and how hard it was, and I want to make sure the whole crew is okay because I'm never having change in their suffering. See, I'm going through and knowing Marcy, and it was hard to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday, Cynthia came over, talked about that. Things are just like, maybe have, and then not any fault of you guys. You guys came by to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
I had to say it again, go through all that. But Monday, so I took my daughter back to Seattle. And walking the dog was one of the best things I did. It's like being outside.
Mm-hmm.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the end of the day and the week, and so we'll resume in Monday. Close your notepads and leave them there on your chairs.
Thank you. So with regard to exhibit 9.
Continue your examination.
Thank you. So with regard to exhibit 98, what is this photograph of?
This is a photograph of her face and upper chest. This one is actually taken on the first day of examinations.
And do you take a photograph like this for identification purposes?
Yes.
Okay. Published 98. Thank you. Now, with regard to 101, view?
This is a photograph taken during the examination of one of her eyes. We don't always take our photographs so that they're easy for other people to orient. So for everyone in the room, that is upside down.
Okay, so, right, so, where I'm pointing here at the base of the photograph, that would be the top of her head,
That's correct.
and this is where her chest is, right?
Yes.
On the top.
Yes.
Okay. Generally speaking, with regard to these measuring devices, do they, are they oriented so the writing is, the top of the writing is facing the top of the head?
Yes.
All right, so this would be her left eye, is that accurate?
Yes.
And what do you see in this eye?
So in this image, at the lateral part of her eye is a very small red area.
Is that where I'm pointing here?
Yes.
And what do you believe that is?
That is most consistent with a petechial hemorrhage.
And 102. All right, again, we're upside down. So top of her head is here at the base,
Yes.
correct? And this is her mouth at the top?
Yes.
Okay. And this is a photograph of?
This is a photograph of the inside of her upper eyelid. And there's a very dark, almost linear looking area of hemorrhage on the inside of the eyelid.
Okay, is that where I'm pointing here?
Yes.
And what do you believe that is?
It's hemorrhage, and it's surrounded by tiny hemorrhages, which would be petechia. That's large enough that we wouldn't call it a petechial hemorrhage, but it is hemorrhage.
Do you have an opinion on what the cause of this hemorrhage is?
Only in very general terms.
What are the general?
Objection, relevance. Overruled.
So an area of hemorrhage on the inside of the eyelid of that size and shape is most consistent with a blunt impact to that region.
And then you indicated it was surrounded by petechia?
Yes.
All right, 103. All right, what are we looking at here?
This is the right ear and the part of the cheek that's just in front of the right ear. So we have the earlobe that's visible, and then the ear canal. And then just in front of that are two red dots, and those are petechiae.
Is that where I'm pointing here?
Yes.
And 104. Is this just a closer view of those two petechiae dots in front of her right ear?
Yes.
All right, 105. Okay. What are we looking at here?
This is the right side of the lower part of her face and the right side of her neck. And the ruler is framing a oval, some crescent-shaped, roughly crescent-shaped area of petechial hemorrhages.
Is that what this is here?
Yes.
Is there anything else noteworthy on this particular image?
There are other petechial hemorrhages that are a bit washed out in this photograph, but on the right side of her jawline is a very small cluster. Yes, in that region, yes,
And then these are the two that we previously identified in front of her ear?
yes.
Now, these are somewhat faint. Did you put or develop another slide with black dots placed on what you observed to be the petechiae?
Yes,
So now I'm showing what has been admitted for illustrative purposes only, 106. Okay. So is this a copy of the same photograph we just looked at,
yes,
which is 105? And these black dots that are here, did you place those?
yes, I did,
And are those placed on top of what you identified as petechiae?
yes.
Okay. So specific to this region here on the neck, do you find any significance to the formation of the petechiae?
I can say that it is consistent with and not consistent with certain things,
Okay.
but I can't tell you exactly what it is.
Would it be consistent with a finger?
Yes,
And is it placed, where is the location of this particular crescent-shaped cluster of petechiae?
that particular distribution is at the anterior edge, so the front edge of the big muscle that comes down the side of the neck. So it is just in front of that muscle on the side of the neck.
And did you identify a hemorrhage in this particular location?
Yes,
And was that the hemorrhage to the carotid sheath on the right side?
yes,
Okay. Now, petechiae can be developed by restricting blood flow, correct?
yes,
Can it also be from direct pressure?
yes.
And let's see, move on to. Just got a little bit out of order here. Okay. All right, moving on to 107. All right. Which side of Marcy's face is this?
This is the left side.
And do you see anything noteworthy in this particular photograph?
In this photograph, although very faint, there is a linear distribution of petechial hemorrhages just in front of her left ear.
Is that right, pointing here?
Yes,
And is there any significance about this formation of petechiae?
yes.
And what is that?
The distribution suggests that the skin was pinched in that area to create a linear distribution of injury.
Now, if petechiae had developed from, say, vomiting, would you expect for it to develop in this particular formation?
No.
What sort of formations would you expect to see?
With vomiting or sneezing, what I would expect to see is a generalized distribution of petechia across the face. In those situations, the petechia are easiest to see around the eyes and on the eyeballs, but they can be across the cheeks or down the neck.
Okay. But they're generally more dispersed and generalized?
Yes.
One oh eight. All right, is this just a closer view of those same linear petechiae? On
Yes.
the left-hand side?
Yes.
One oh nine. All right, what are we looking at here?
This is the inferior surface of the left earlobe. where there's two small red dots.
Is that here and here?
Yes,
And what do you believe those are?
those are most consistent with petechial hemorrhages.
Any significance to the location of those?
Not specifically, no.
All right, showing 110. All right, so we're still looking at the left side of Marcy's face, correct?
Yes,
And this is the linear formation of the petechiae here.
yes.
And what is this here?
That is a small cluster of bruises that are just below the left earlobe.
111. All right, what are we looking at here?
This is the left side of her neck. For reference, her left ear is at the bottom right corner. And then her jawline, I know it's really hard to appreciate, but it would be diagonally across that. Yes,
Like that?
no.
Okay.
It would go from the corner of the ruler more towards her ear canal. So
So
within that is a cluster of petechial hemorrhages.
And where is the location of this bruise? Could you just show the jury on yourself?
Yeah. So this is on the left side. So it's again in front of this large muscle right here, just in front of it, and then below the ear.
And is the location of this bruise over the carotid artery?
Yes.
One 12. All right, so in this particular photo, we have the same linear pattern of the petechiae, contusion that we just talked about, bruise. Is there anything in addition to those two things in this particular photograph?
Yes.
And what is that?
A little bit lower and more towards the front of her neck is a cluster, another linear cluster of petechiae that's a little bit on a diagonal orientation. Yes,
Is that where I'm pointing here?
yes.
Okay. Do you find any significance to the pattern in that portion of the petechiae?
Not specifically, no.
All right, now, 113, is this another situation where you put black dots over what you observe to be the petechiae
Yes,
to make it easier to see?
yes.
And publishing 113, which has been admitted for illustrative purposes only. All right, so in 113, we have the black dots. Is that what you observe to be the petechiae just next to her ear?
Yes,
And then down here lower, that's the linear pattern of petechiae on her neck.
yes.
And then this here was the bruise.
Yes.
Anything else that's noteworthy about this particular photo?
No.
Right, 114. Is this this a close-up version of that linear pattern of TKI on her neck?
Yes.
All right, 115. What are we looking at here?
This is the left side of her cheek and the part of her chin just below her lower lip. There's a red, pinkish red area of skin discoloration with, yes, that also had a bit of a rough or flaky texture to it.
And what did you determine the likely cause of this was?
That is most consistent with a very minor superficial skin infection, sometimes referred to as impetigo.
So we don't necessarily think this is related, or this isn't indicative of any sort of a strangulation event or trauma.
No.
And 160. Right. What are we looking at here?
This is the inside of her scalp. So in order to remove the brain, we have to invert the scalp. So this is the part of the scalp that sits right next to the skull. And in this image of the inside of her scalp are a number of deep red, pink to deep red spots.
And what is the significance of those to you?
These are hard to assign significance because this type of change is common in a lot of different types of death. So it is not unusual when a person dies for their scalp to become very congested and to look like this. But it can also be indicative of blood that has pooled in the head for other reasons.
All right. Did you also observe anything on the inside of Marcy's mouth?
Yes.
And what did you observe?
There was an area of hemorrhage, I believe, on the right side, on the inside of her lip, on the upper side. And then there was a round lesion on the lower lip on the inside.
Showing you what's been marked for identification purposes is 117 and 118. Do you recognize what those are?
Yes.
And what?
These are images of the lesion on the inside of the lower lip and the area of hemorrhage on the inside of the right upper lip.
Okay. And true and accurate depictions as they appeared during the autopsy?
Yes.
Go to omit 118 and 117.
Can I see them, please? Any objection? No objection. 117 and 118 original.
All right. Let's first talk about 117. And motion to publish, Your Honor.
Granted.
Thank you. Okay. And again, upside down.
Yes.
Okay. So the top of her head would be down here at the base of the photograph.
Yes.
So is this the, well, what did you say this was?
A lesion.
Okay. And what do you think the likely cause of that is?
That is most consistent with a typical mouth sore, sometimes called a canker sore or a blister on the inside of the mouth.
And why do you say it's more consistent with a canker sore as opposed to some sort of an injury?
This lesion is very round and has a very sharp border. And that is not typical of injuries, and it is more typical of a canker sore or a localized infection.
And 118? Okay. And what is it that we're looking at here?
This is the inside of the right upper lip. And this is a hard area to photograph, but it's an area of hemorrhage that is inside the mouth, sort of on the inside of the cheek.
Am I pointing to it here?
Yes.
And are you able to form any opinion about what the likely cause of that is?
No.
All right. Now, with regard to the rest of Marcy's body, what did you observe with regard to her arms?
The notable observations were bruises on both of her elbows, and I believe one of her arms had 2 linear scars.
West in a romantic. And who do you currently reside there with?
Ted West and Kevin.
Kevin West?
Yes.
And how long have you lived there with Kevin West?
I don't know the approximate date, but probably 5 months or 6 months.
And what is the current, well, are you and Kevin West in a romantic relationship?
Yes.
And what is the current state of your relationship?
We're engaged.
When did you first meet Kevin West?
Probably, I don't know the exact date, but it was over 20 years ago was the first time, probably 2004.
Okay. And how was it that you met?
I was a volunteer firefighter with Washougal, and he was a paramedic with Canvas.
And was he married to Marcy West at the time?
Yes.
Did your relationship with Kevin West eventually turn into a sexual relationship?
Yes, briefly.
How soon after meeting?
Probably I don't know the exact date, maybe a year or 6 months. I don't know.
And how long did that first relationship last?
It was brief, maybe a couple months.
Did the two of you reconnect in 2023?
Yes.
And how is that occurred?
He messaged me.
On what?
Facebook.
Facebook Messenger?
Yes.
And what did he say when he messaged you?
I don't know the exact words, but it was, "Hi, is this Cynthia from Washougal that I knew back in the day?" I don't know exact words. It was very brief and just said, "How are you?"
And after he reached out to you on Facebook Messenger, did the two of you start communicating regularly?
I would say regularly, yeah.
How often would you communicate?
In the beginning, maybe once a week or every few weeks, and then it progressed.
When did you start communicating more frequently?
A couple months or a month, maybe.
Okay. And how were you communicating?
Text messaging.
Just regular text messaging?
No, on an app.
What sort of app?
WhatsApp.
And what is WhatsApp?
It is just a different type of way to message, text messaging or calling.
Is it end-to-end encryption?
I don't think so, no.
Why would you use WhatsApp and not regular text messaging or Facebook Messenger?
I think for protection from, I was in a relationship at the time, and he would take my phone, or I assumed he took my phone, and it was easy to delete and not have it in my call history.
And did the two of you eventually decide to meet up in person?
Yes,
When was that?
I don't have the date, but it was months later.
So October, November?
Tried to answer that question and I'm not sure on the exact date.
Where did you meet up?
The first time we met in a hotel just to be out of the public eye.
And where was that?
It was off Airport Way. I don't remember the hotel. I'm sorry.
Between the time you first met in person at that hotel and Marcy's death, how many times did you see Kevin West in person?
I don't know. I don't have how many times we met. I'm sorry.
More than 10?
Yes.
More than 20?
Yes.
More than 30?
I don't know.
And we're talking about a period from October to the beginning of January?
Oh, yeah, again, I don't know the date that we met the first time, but it's really hard for me to answer, even if it was 20 times.
And how many trips did you take with Kevin between the time you met up in person and the time of Marcy's death?
I would say at least 2 that I can really remember, maybe 3.
Can you tell us what those trips were?
I took a trip to, my mom was having medical issues. She needed a valve replaced. Sorry. And I wanted him to meet my mom.
Is your
So
mother,
that was in Nevada.
okay, so you took Kevin to meet your mother. Is your mother Waltrid Ward?
Yeah.
Okay. And so the two of you went to Nevada? When was that?
I think November,
And how long of a trip was that?
a couple of days.
And any other trips that the two of you took?
We went to the beach.
And how long of a trip was that?
Oh, one day, 1 or 2 days.
And you recall no other trips?
Pardon?
And you recall no other trips?
Not right now.
Did you go to Hood River?
We drove through Hood River from, oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. We went to Goldendale. I apologize. I didn't remember that. And we drove through Hood River to come home.
Did you stay in Hood River?
No.
Did you stay in Goldendale
Yes.
at a hotel?
Yes.
And when was that?
I'm not sure of the date.
Going to Goldendale, what was the purpose of that trip?
My sister and my brother-in-law found some property that they wanted to look at, and me and my other sister, we had kind of a plan to buy at least 20 or more acres so that we could all live together on a piece of property, and have my mom and dad live with us as well. And so they were the first ones to go through retirement, and we're going to be buying property there. Hopefully, that was one of the locations. So we went to go look at property.
Okay, so you took Kevin to go meet up with your brother-in-law and sister-in-law?
Sister.
Sister and brother-in-law.
Yes.
And is your brother-in-law Paul Person?
Yes.
And during that trip when you were looking at property, was there discussion of you and Kevin purchasing that property with Paul and, what's your sister's name?
Sandra.
With Paul and Sandra?
So mainly it was for me to purchase it, and if me and Kevin were to be together, it was an option for him to also go to Goldendale with us. But originally, the whole plan was for me and my sister and my other sister to all buy property so we could live together.
Didn't Kevin talk with Paul about purchasing the property with him?
Right, I would be more than likely the signer because I could sell my own home eventually. This was going to be like 8 to 10 years down the road. So it wasn't immediate thought process of purchasing it right away. They could have purchased the land and we, or me, could buy it or a piece of it.
Didn't Kevin ask Paul to carry the note until his divorce was finalized on the property?
I don't know what he talked to with Paul about.
You weren't involved in that?
I wasn't in the text message, you know.
So you're not aware of any plan with Kevin and Paul to purchase that property?
It was, I don't want to say it incorrectly. There was plans that if Kevin were to, he was going to retire in 8 to 10 years or even longer, that yes, he would move with us.
Was he gonna move there with Marcy?
No,
So what was the plan with Kevin and his relationship?
I don't know. I don't know.
There was no discussion of what he was going to do in his relationship?
Well, eventually he was going to leave Marcy at some point. I don't know when that would have been exactly.
So you and Kevin had discussions about him leaving Marcy?
Yeah.
How often?
Not very often. He was wanting to make sure that Marcy was available to see Megan get married. And that was in July. And she was pretty excited about that.
Did he ever discuss divorcing Marcy with you?
We had discussions, but not exact dates or anything like that.
Prior to Marcy's death, did he ever bring up wanting to marry you?
Prior, maybe in a, I would say yes.
How often?
That rare.
Did he ever discuss any other future plans with you besides purchasing property in marriage?
Not that I can recall, but if you have something, I can answer to it.
Do you recall nothing else about future plans?
No, and I am a little nervous, so not that I can think of right now.
Did he introduce you to any members of his family prior to Marcy's death?
Yes.
Who?
His mom and sister,
And is his mom's name Lorna?
Lori,
Lori, okay. And where does she live?
in Eugene.
Did she come to you or did you go to Eugene?
We went to Eugene.
Okay.
I think it was on the way to Nevada. I remember correctly.
Okay.
Sorry.
Was that the only time you met his mother prior to Marcy's death?
No, I met her one other time for Kevin's birthday.
Was his birthday after or before Marcy's death?
After.
So when you went, did you go with Kevin to visit her in Eugene?
Yes.
Were you just there for the day or did you stay the night?
Stay the night.
And was any other members of his family there?
His stepfather.
And did he introduce you to them as his girlfriend?
No, just as Cynthia.
Was it apparent that the two of you were in a romantic relationship?
I don't know about romantic relationship. We didn't show romance. So I don't know how to answer that. I don't think romantic relationship.
Did they think you were just a random person coming with Kevin to the house?
Objection to foundation.
Sustained.
So you don't think they had any idea who you were?
If Kevin talked to them about me, maybe, yeah. I don't think I was just a person off the street.
And did you meet any other members of his family?
At the birthday party, there was his dad and nieces.
When was the birthday party?
It was after his birthday because there was some weather. I want to say the 20th or 23rd of January.
The January that Marcy died?
Yes.
So 2024.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Okay. And what day is Kevin's birthday?
January 18th
And where was his birthday party?
at his home.
Is that the home where Marcy died?
Yes,
And so you came to his birthday party there the 20th or the 23rd?
somewhere around there, yes.
And who was present at that party?
His, I don't know exactly everyone, but what I remember is his nieces and his family, his mom, his dad, Megan, Ted, Caden. I don't remember anymore, or I can tell you if you have names if I saw them.
You mentioned Megan and Ted. Are those Kevin's children?
Yes.
And was that the first time that you met them?
I met Ted when he was a baby, but later, that was the first time I met them.
Did you ever meet Marcy?
One time.
When was that?
It was when I was a volunteer. They,
What were the circumstances?
they were going to marriage counseling and I watched Ted.
So Kevin had you watch Ted while he and Marcy went to marriage counseling?
Yes, ma'am.
Was that before or after your affair? Or during?
That I don't remember.
Do you remember telling me it was after your affair?
Yeah, I'm a little nervous, so probably I was gonna say assume it was after the affair, but I don't remember.
How were you introduced to Megan and Ted at the birthday party?
As Amy's friend,
Who's Amy?
his sister.
Were you eventually introduced as Kevin's girlfriend?
Yes,
When was that?
I don't know the exact date.
Was it within a
A couple
week?
months later, maybe?
A couple of months?
I don't know. I'm gonna say I don't know, because I don't know. If you have a date, I can try to remember for you.
Did you ever? When did you start texting with Megan?
I'm not sure. She was in college, so
Was it around the time of the birthday party?
Objectives and relevance.
was it at the birthday party? I'm sorry.
Was it around the time of the birthday party?
I don't know. I would think it would be after. I didn't have her number at the birthday party.
The night prior to Marcy's death, were you texting with Kevin?
I'm sorry.
The night prior to Marcy's death, were you texting with Kevin?
I did answer that and I said I wasn't sure only because we would say goodnight. But I can't say 1,000% if I text him or he texts me that night.
At that point in time, were you speaking every day?
Yes, that's why I said I assumed it was every night.
How
Pretty
often?
much.
Okay. How often would you generally speak during the day at that point in time?
Sometimes he was at work and he couldn't, or I was at work and I couldn't, so it varied very much on how much we spoke. Some days it was a long, a lot. Some days it wasn't.
Do you remember the last time you spoke with Kevin that night?
No, I don't.
Do you recall whether you were speaking with Kevin at any point prior or between midnight and 4:30 a.m.?
No.
When did you first hear from Kevin after Marcy's death?
I texted him and said, good morning, how's everything? Just kind of a normal good morning. And I didn't hear from him. So it was probably 9 o'clock in the morning when I heard something from him, and he said that she had passed and he was going to Seattle to get Megan.
And when was the first time that you went to that residence after Marcy's death?
Kevin's birthday.
The birthday party? Yeah. You were at Kevin's home on January 23rd when the police arrived, were you not?
Yes, I was.
You were with him in the garage.
I was.
And you stayed in the garage the whole time that he spoke with police, did you not?
Yes, when the police officers left, Kevin was taking their card and I walked in by the bathroom into the kitchen. But that's as far, we stayed mainly in the garage.
Oh, so you're saying you came out of the garage while the police officers were still there?
No, ma'am. When they left.
Okay.
Kevin had opened the door and said, I'm gonna put this away.
Why wouldn't you come out of the garage?
The garage was kind of a safe place. It was more Kevin's area and we heard a knock at the door, but since we were in the garage, we didn't know it was an actual knock at the door. And then it was a big bang and Kevin said, oh, I'll go check that. And I just stayed in the garage. It is set up with chairs and it's not like a typical garage.
So he never told you that it was the police there?
He never came out. Nobody came to the garage.
He didn't have a conversation with you before leaving the garage saying it's the police and I'm gonna
We had
probably
no
tell
idea. We thought it was Chuck, the neighbor, actually. He's like, it's probably Chuck, and answered the door. I had no idea the police were there.
And during the birthday party, what part of the house were you in?
Mainly the garage. It was just like everyone was in the garage. That was a place of gathering.
Did you ever come into the main house?
I did.
Do you remember telling me in a private interview or a prior interview that you never went into the main house, that you were only ever in the garage?
No, because I would have walked in the house even if I had to use the restroom. But I think maybe I was understanding your questioning to be that, did I hang out in the main area? I had to come through the front door, so I had to be in the house. So you're questioning, maybe I was thinking that you were saying, did we hang out continually? But no, it was in the garage mainly.
And you indicated that you're currently engaged to Kevin.
Yes.
When did Kevin propose?
September 1st,
Of what year?
2024.
And you indicated that you're currently living with Kevin and Ted.
Yes.
Who primarily supports the finances of the household?
We all do. I have a full-time job, and Kevin has retirement,
Is that his pension?
his retirement.
Is that his pension?
Ma'am, I don't know. He retired, so if it's his pension, if it goes along with retirement.
Do you recall previously telling me that he was the primary earner in the household?
No, I remember telling you that we both are, and that I am the signer on the house with Ted so he could get credit on his credit. Because I have enough credit to rent the home that I'm in. He does help, but I'm the primary signer, so.
So you and Ted are on the lease together?
Yes, ma'am.
Nothing else, John.
Examination. Good morning, Ms. Ward.
You said you've been engaged since September 2024, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just about a little over a year, right?
Yeah, that was because my mom was unhealthy and he wanted to weren't there.
Understood. Yeah, it's fair to say that at some point, you two are hoping for a life together. Isn't that accurate?
Yes,
And Megan's marriage, you said, was scheduled to be in July. That would have been July of 2023, is that right?
23, 24.
Um,
Sorry.
It would have been the July after Marcy passed.
Yes, sorry.
And you might not have had specific conversations, but there was a general understanding that at least someday in the future, Kevin would get divorced.
Yes.
On the 23rd, when you remained in the garage and the police, can you say you weren't aware it was the police, right?
I was not aware.
And you thought it was the neighbor Chuck?
I did.
Did you not want to meet the neighbor Chuck?
If Kevin wanted to, I would have. I wasn't hiding in the garage. And made that clear.
And the reason you didn't go in the house is because you just weren't comfortable being in the house, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Indirect.
Yeah.
Can the witness be excused?
Yes.
I will reserve on this witness.
Okay, so you're free to go at this time, but you're subject to recall, so you can't remain in the courtroom. You need to keep the parties advised of how to reach you in case you need to come back for additional testimony if you're about to discuss your testimony. My understanding is about 5 minutes.
44 and 40. Detective Arvizo, I'm handing you what's been pre-marked as State's Exhibit 44 and 45. Don't divulge the contents, but do you recognize those photographs?
I do.
And how do you recognize them?
That's Kevin West's garage, the interior part of the garage.
And in those photographs, can you see the area in which you were able to locate those Christmas cars that you previously mentioned?
Yes.
And are those photographs fair and accurate of how the garage was depicted on January 31st, 2024?
Yes.
Did they appear to be altered in any way?
No.
Your Honor, State moves to admit 44 and 45.
No objection. 44 and 45 are admitted.
And permission to publish, Your Honor.
Granted.
Now, Detective Arvizo, what are we looking at here?
This is the bar area that kind of was inside of the garage. And then like an ATV. You can see the front of that ATV type vehicle they had parked in the garage at the time.
Exhibit number?
44, Your Honor, apologies. And so, Detective Arvizo, just to orient ourselves, would the garage door be kind of at the base of the photograph or like behind this photograph?
Yes.
And where do you see the chest that you located the Christmas cards?
It's kind of difficult to see in this picture, but it's just kind of in front of the ATV there on the along the wall there. Kind of it's barely sticking out there.
And so is it this chest right here?
Correct.
And 45, please. And Detective Arvizo, can you see the chest in this photograph as well?
Yes.
And is it this located right here to the left?
Correct.
Detective Arvizo, would you have been wearing your body-worn camera when you conducted the search of the West residence on January 31st, 2024?
Yes.
And had you been trained on how to use that body-worn camera prior to January 31st, 2024?
Yes.
Did the body-worn camera appear to be functioning properly?
Yes.
Did the body-worn camera, was it muted while you were conducting the search?
Yes.
And have you reviewed your body-worn camera footage prior to testifying today in court from January 31st, 2024.
Yes.
Would you recognize a clip or portion of your body worn camera if I were to show it to you today in court?
I would.
If any person in the courtroom is too important to have their phone silenced, you'll need to leave the courtroom.
Showing opposing counsel was pre-marked as 96. Approaching the witness with been pre-marked for identification purposes as 96. Detective Arvizo, did you review the contents of that USB prior to testifying in court today?
I did.
And is what is contained on the USB a fair and accurate depiction of your body worn camera, the segment in which you locate the person's cards?
It is.
Your Honor, move to admit states 96. I believe it is.
Any objection? No objection. 96 is admitted.
Permission to publish, Your Honor.
Granted.
Detective Arvizo, is this an accurate time, or is the time and date in the top right-hand corner accurate as to when the search would have been conducted?
Correct.
Detective Arvizo, after you located those Christmas cards, what did you do next?
I showed them to Detective Tellison, and ultimately they were provided to Detective Henschel.
So those cards were seized as part of your investigation?
Correct.
Without divulging the contents of the cards, who did the cards appear to be written from?
Kevin.
And how were you able to determine that?
They're signed with Kevin's name on them.
Who were the cards addressed to?
Cynthia.
Now, you'll either need to silence the device or remove it from the courtroom. If it goes off again, I'll have no choice but to confiscate it.
Showing opposing counsel within the marked for identification purposes as the court witness will the same. Now, Detective Arvizo, is that Clark County Sheriff's Office evidence sealing tape that you see at the top?
It is.
And why is that used?
It's common standard practice to seal evidence in manila envelopes. Keep it in there, especially documents.
And now, with regards to the label that's on that envelope, what are the contents that are contained within that envelope?
Sorry, Counsel, what was the exhibit number?
84, I believe, Your Honor.
Thank you.
The description is Christmas cards on the evidence label.
And now, would you please open the seal? And Detective Arvizo, are those the same Christmas cards that you located in that chest in Mr. West's garage on January 31st, 2024?
They are, yes.
Do they appear to be in the same condition as when you located them?
Yes.
And if you would please place that back in the bag so I can show as counsel prior to asking for admission. Our state moves to admit exhibit 84 to Christmas cards.
Oh, yes. 84 is a
Detective Arvizo, would you please read one of those letters for us?
Sure. I'll start with the Merry Christmas card. States, Cynthia, this Christmas we had to be apart. Although apart, the day was spent with only thoughts of you. The holiday spirit was alive because of the love we share. I'm always feeling the warmth of your love and the laughter we share. You're my Christmas gift I will never forget. Every year forward, we will create new traditions, share holiday memories, and feel the Christmas spirit because of the traditions we create. Our family will grow as one together, looking forward to sharing the holidays with us. From the Christmas tree, the food we prepare, the home we make, to the decorations we display, our love will be present everywhere. Next year, 2024, will be our year. We will be together celebrating every day with love and understanding of what it means for you and I to be together. Our story will ring in the new year, loud for all to hear. I love you, Cynthia. Love forever and always, Kevin. Then the printed part of the card is everything about this Christmas wish comes from the heart, the warmth, the gratitude, the love, because it's for you. And written below, ho, ho, ho.
Thank you. And would you please read the other card?
The card's a red joy Christmas card. Cynthia, joy is what you have given me. Our story is pure joy. You have made me the happiest man in the universe. I love everything about you. There have been so many special memories we have shared in such a short period of time. Just imagine what memories we will create having each other every day. You and I were seamlessly created for each other. I want you more and more every day. I love you more and more every day. You and I began with one look, followed by a dance. That single dance was so special and represents how we will dance through life together, step for step and hand in hand. Cynthia, thank you for loving me. I will never take you, our story, or our love for granted. Love forever and always, Kevin. And written again is ho, ho, ho. And printed on the card is, hope this adds a special sparkle to your holidays. And below that, it's handwritten, Merry Christmas, Cynthia. I love you with all my heart and soul. Yours for eternity, Kevin.
When Sweet Pea taps in, you know the courtroom lights go bright. Trials running long, but the family's here every night. Mars on patrol, chatter showing out. This little YouTube corner's what community's about. Therapist you know, steady holding down the floor. Behind the scenes magician, keeping peace like never before. A banner king, a rule keeper too. Every channel dreams of a mind like you. Jason walks in and the ladies lose control. Down to earth king with the warmest soul. Film freaks, kindness man is always on display. Fair and sweet and cheering folks along the way. And Marilia from SA keeps the laughter rolling free. Joking, shining, keeping spirits where they need to be. We're a family in the chat, side by side through every trial. Sweet Pea leads the way with that fire and that smile. We debate, we laugh, we lift each other higher. This quorum crew is everything we admire. Yeah, no matter what the case so far, we're forever taken to trial. Take it to trial. Pretty brown girl, she'll tell you what's true. Sharp as a gavel, funniest in the room. Dr. Rachel pops in while she's busy running lines. Speaks her mind every time, cuts through like a knife. And Paula brings the energy, jokes flying fast. Helping Sweet Pea backstage, making every stream last. Then Zach strolls and causing chaos just for fun. The resident cheater, but we love him, everyone. Here comes Maddie, handsome, quick with the line. A comedy sniper with the perfect timing. And Lynn with the updates, always loyal, always tuned. If true crime news drops, he brings it to the room. We're a family in the chat, side by side through every trial. Sweet Pea leads the way with that fire and that smile. We debate, we laugh, we lift each other higher. This quorum crew is everything we admire. Yeah, no matter what the case so far, we're forever taken to trial. Take it to trial. courtroom fog. In Brooklyn in the house, always bringing that spark. Lighting up the chat like a shout in the dark. Barker loves her gram, speaks truth when it's time. Micrograms with metaphors straight up sublime. Barbara biggest supporter, heart kind and vast. Looking for missing kids, hope to truly last. Only fan from Singapore, flag name but sweet. Still shows up with love every time he takes a seat. And even the part-timers keep this place alive. Curvier, Irish Amy, Capri Law, Hellcat, our tribe. Hearts wide open, stories shared, holding space because we care. From every corner of the world we climb to spend these nights together, one trial at a time. We're a family in the chat, side by side through every trial. Sweet Pea leads the way with that fire and that smile. Mods and shadows, yeah, this love is something rare. A courtroom crew with hearts beyond compare. No matter what the case or file, we're for